kind of on the QT. Hey, my boyfriend's having a hard time getting it up, whatever. Is it mental? Is it physical? Whatever. And so along those lines, he can be very, very helpful. And so he returns tomorrow for the first Is It Red in a long time, over a couple of years. So we'll be very happy to reconnect with him. If you have questions ahead of tomorrow, you can email them to me. Not everybody can listen live. Still might want to get some information. So that'll be tomorrow on the show. And then, of course, we'll close out the week with the Bill Squire Friday Get Down. There's no better transition to make than from Is It Red to the Bill Squire Friday Get Down.
Perfect. It's seamless.
It's seamless and perfect.
Make sure your things in order, and then the weekend begins, and you try and mess it up again.
There you go. You
try and find a new drip.
Take that drip for a drive. I got to talk to Dr. B about me getting snipped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to pull the trigger on that.
Sounds
like a pretty good idea. Get myself a bag of frozen peas, sit on it for a couple of days. I clapped back at some guy this morning on Twitter because he said, not clap back, but I mean, it just took me so by surprise. He sent me a tweet that said, Romo Fieldhouse. I was like, what?
So close.
How dare you bastardize Romo Fieldhouse? You got to work to come up with that. Romo Fijo is so easy. It just rolls off the tongue. Somebody else suggested Rocket Mortgage Fijo.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. DJ Jake C. tweeted me a photo of Jessica Simpson that said Romo Fijo. I don't think they're together. They're not together anymore, are they? Jessica Simpson was very famously with Tony Romo for a while.
Oh yeah, they haven't been together for
I bet
years.
she regrets that. That dude's making like $90 million a year now with NBC. Holy cow.
He could afford this surgery if he wanted to be 3 inches to 6 inches taller. You hear about this?
Oh, the guys that are having their legs broken.
Yeah, there's this doctor in Las Vegas that they'll break your femur. They put these nails in there, and then every day, like they're magnetically controlled, it makes you a little bit taller, but it takes months, and it seems so dangerous just to get like a few inches taller.
A few inches, like it's negligible.
No, I mean, you can get 3 to 6 inches taller.
Can?
That's what they say.
I thought this was all bull shrimp, this lengthening your... Because where are you getting... He's inserting the longer fake bones? Is that what it is?
He's inserting a nail so that as the bones heal, they're fusing back together, but every day it like adjusts a little bit, so it's got to fuse again, and then it fuses again, and then it does that again. I can't imagine these are strong legs. I imagine there's probably going to be some problems with that, but
you're also not going to... It seems like so much damage to do to
all
your...
legs and no torso.
Yeah, to your, factory standard pieces. You know, if you're one of these guys...
And it costs $150,000.
Right. Remember the Bagel Boss?
Yeah.
Remember that guy who went viral? Tiny guy, screaming at girls at the bagel shop in New York. That, I'd be like, okay. But the guy in the article I was reading in GQ, it's a guy in his mid-40s who's 5'11 and a half. That's like a skosh taller than I am. And he wants to be taller. I'm sorry. Okay.
He's going to get up to 5'11 and a half?
No. Yeah. He was 5'8 and a half.
Okay.
So he's gotten, there's no way to know what that math is. He's gotten 3 inches after $150,000.
$150,000 in months of
in 8 months.
Pain.
Agonizing pain.
Yeah.
So I hope it's like any other cosmetic surgery. I hope you got what you paid for. Both his femurs broken at $75,000 per leg. Adjustable metal nails inserted down their centers, like Bill was describing. Each nail is made of titanium, which is both flexible and sturdy like bone, and about the size of a piccolo. So, yeah, he's taller.
Well, do you remember the movie Gattaca?
I mean, you've got a great, underrated Ethan Hawke movie.
Underrated Jude Law movie, too.
Oh, is Jude Law in Gattaca?
And so is Gwyneth Paltrow.
I just
it's
remember.
It's a great cast. It's a really great cast.
Cool.
But that's one of the things that he has to do because he's taking over somebody else's persona, and that person's taller. And in that movie, they like basically cut his legs off and like lengthen them, and that's crazy.
Right.
But now people are doing that for real, and it just seems like so. I mean, I'm a tall guy, but I remember like I got tall later in my teens, so it was I was one of the smallest kids in class, so there's part of me that understands this.
Yeah.
That goes, yeah, I would do anything to be taller, and luckily I got tall enough where I'm 6 foot now. I'm happy with where I'm at, but I mean, maybe a younger me might go, you know what? Let's go for 6'6".
Oh yeah, I mean, I was.
But then also like you have to have the rest of the body to match the length of your legs, or else you're going to look like Jack Skellington.
Right. I was probably like 5'4", well into sophomore year in high school. I was not tall. I'm not tall now. I don't think I'm even.
You're not short either, though.
I'm not short, but I mean, like both of my brothers are very tall. They're like 6'3", 6'4". I don't even think I'm 6 feet. I'm probably 5'11" and 7/8 or something, but I don't even think I top out at 6 feet. Gattaca, by the way, is one of those movies where at the time you were kind of like, okay. I don't think it did that well, whatever. Now you watch it and you're like, holy cow.
It's pretty on point.
It's very on point.
It's
a big flop at the time.
I loved it since it came out. Like I didn't see it in theaters, but I rented it and I was like, this is a really interesting concept of the genetically engineered children.
Yeah.
Where they're making them so there's no disease, and it's going to get that way eventually. I mean, we're getting close to that now.
I wonder if that's where he met Uma Thurman.
I think it is.
On Gattaca, because they were married for a while. You can always leave us messages, by the way, on the iHeartRadio app. There's a little talkback button there. So no matter where you're listening, you don't have to leave us voicemails on the after hours line if you don't want to. You just hit that button. Sound quality is great, and you can leave us a message.
Hey guys, Aaron from Catan, just catching up from Tuesday's show on the podcast. If Dick is going to busk in Cleveland, the first thing he's going to have to do is learn how to tune that friggin' mandolin. That is all.
Yeah, because we were talking about how the Downtown Cleveland Alliance is handing out busking permits. And wouldn't it be great if Dick from Dayton could great in air quotes, get a busking permit. He could stand right outside our window and perform for passersby, and we would never once acknowledge him. Imagine that. That'd be the best part. This is when he met Mary, when she played Wiley's in Dayton.
Let me see it. Let's see that beautiful thing. Wow. Give us a little something.
And the weather, they get out of tune.
The weather did
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Blame the weather. Blame it on the rain, like Dick's like Milli Vanilli.
Let me tell you a story about a man named Charlie Underwood.
He thinks he's killing it.
Yeah.
He's like, yes, I'm about to murder it.
Why forever on the streets of Boston, he's the man who ever returns.
That's when he first started telling us years ago about the Kettering Banjo Society. I'm like, oh boy, this guy must be really good. He's clearly buried in a group of guys playing banjo.
Well, this isn't banjo. This is mandolin, which I think he did start playing more recently.
Oh, I see. So on the banjo, he kills it.
He might, but I also don't believe.
Thank you.
And then Mary lying to him.
That's so nice. Makes
the
an old guy
elderly.
feel good.
I don't like that lying stuff. You go, oh,
She's like a magician.
right. She's always mad about people.
Yep.
Such a hypocrite, that kid.
What is he even saying?
He sounds like he's being murdered with the instrument. I don't know what noises are being made here.
I don't.
Flat and Scruggs.
That was beautiful, Dick.
Flat
Thank you so
Strokes
much.
is right.
No. Flat and Scruggs
Oh.
is who he was saying.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Earl Scruggs
Strokes.
and Flat Strokes. The Foggy Mountain Boys. You don't remember him telling us about the Foggy Mountain Boys? Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs?
No, Alan.
Come
and you know
on.
why?
Because you don't listen to the show.
I was on the phone at that time.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
He definitely doesn't listen to Dick. I can't blame you for that.
Yeah, that one probably got by me too.
Yep, you get a free pass. That's okay. The Toy Hall of Fame. Did you see that they released the nominations for the Toy Hall of Fame?
No.
Well, Kate Bush still didn't get in.
My friend was on the cover of a toy box before. Like it was
Oh, good for you.
like a seesaw or something, and he was like,
Was he the C or the Saw?
no, he played one of the dads, so he's just like standing there looking all creepy. He's got like a bunch of kids around.
Oh, this wasn't when he was a kid.
No,
Yeah.
this was in college. He like interned for the company that made this specific toy. I forget what toy it was, but they needed a model to be on.
A friend of mine did that. She's on a box. She's the mom or something, and they're like
Yep.
just kind of looking,
That's
and the
hilarious.
kids enjoying the toy. Yeah, you can make serious cash doing
So
that.
he had it. Of course, we're college students, and he was my roommate. So we had it posted on the wall. He's like, "I'm a model." So whenever we would get drunk and have a party, he would have that toy, the cutout of the toy.
But he was correct. He was a model.
Technically, he was a
Of
model.
course, in every sense. I'm a
I just
toy
can't imagine
model.
what toy company would approve a C-word saw.
I don't know.
You don't know, and your friend was the model. Anyway, the Toy Hall of Fame finalists have
Where you
been.
yell at your tool because it's the one that's messing up, not
Uh-huh. That's right. Stupid hammer.
you. Of a saw.
Dumb hammer saw. Well, you don't have a hammer saw at home? They're very tricky to operate. Masters of the Universe figures are finalists. The voting opened, and these are your finalists. God, my youngest brother, he's 5 years younger than I am. He had a massive, we were into Star Wars figures. He had all the Masters of the Universe figures. The He-Man, the Battle Cat, the Skeletor, every dumb tertiary character from the primary characters all the way to, he had a giant toy box, my parents.
Well,
had
they
purchased
really
for him,
started
and he-
cranking out a lot of tertiary characters with that because
Yes.
instead of doing like different He-Mans, they would just put out all these side characters and then make up characters that I don't even think were even really on the show and just keep putting them out because that's how they. And then
because they weren't.
That's what killed it though. Is
Yeah.
they didn't focus on the main characters.
They overplayed their hand, but they weren't small like Star Wars figures.
No.
They were like big, muscular, bulk, not huge, but I
Yeah.
mean bigger than Star Wars.
They're probably
characters.
about 5 inches
There you go.
and thick.
These were some thick
You know,
boys.
You're not going to mind that it's only 5 inches if it's thick.
That's right. They had length and girth.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they were the Masters of the Universe. Bingo. How is Bingo not already in the Toy Hall of Fame? Bingo. Light Bright, Nerf Toys, Pinata, Phase 10. Are you familiar with that?
No.
Really runs the gamut here. Pound Puppies,
Oh man,
something called Racco,
Pound Puppies were
big deal at the time.
a big deal.
Spirograph, everybody loves Spirograph. It's a very old toy.
That was a very old toy, but a very fun toy. But with Pound Puppies, it sending a real mixed message because they were the story is that they're Pound Puppies. It was basically Cabbage Patch for like dogs.
That's right. They were orphans.
But you still have to pay for them. So you're buying a fake. You're pretending to adopt something. It was a very strange.
You were
marketing
shopping
plan.
and
Yeah.
adopting.
Yeah, you're shopping and adopting. Make up your mind. It's
That
one or
can't
the
be
other.
good.
Pick a side. You can't
Yeah.
do both. Now I know when
Uh,
you adopt, you do end up paying some fees and stuff, but it's not the same as
Not the same.
when you buy.
That's right. The Toy Hall of Fame is in the Strong Museum in Rochester. And so those are your finalists. And people can go vote for Masters of the Universe or Settlers of Catan, which I never played. When we were up north with our all of our friends with kids, they had brought a bunch of board games, some of them for the kids. But we had one of our couple friends who was like, let's play Settlers of Catan. And I was like, surely you are joking. I don't even know how to play, but I can't believe anybody would even mention that here. Isn't that like a super nerdy game?
It's there's a lot of wheat, I feel like.
Well, then I think I
Yeah.
made the right choice by rebuffing her with extreme prejudice when she suggested Settlers of Catan.
That's like a Mormon game.
You have to get
me.
the wheat.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
it is?
I
So
feel
it's
like
completely devoid of any edge whatsoever.
Well, yeah, it's basic. I mean, it's a strategy game, and that's the only time I ever played it was for like Mormon game nights because there's no drinking or anything like that. So you can play a more complicated strategy game because everybody's very aware of the rules because they're all just clear in the head.
So you can vote until the public is invited to vote online through September 21st. So you only get about a week. But they will announce the inductees on November the 10th. Now, my favorite, it might seem stupid to talk about the toys that are going into the Hall of Fame. But what I love about it is it really runs the gamut, and I'm sure this is by design. It really runs the gamut between like modern toys, old-timey toys, and then things that people play with but aren't really toys. So the Toy Hall of Fame's only been around for about 20 years, and they've inducted 77 toys.
They're really taking their time with some of this stuff.
That's right. I mean, they can't all be Chuck Berry on year one. So from simple things like they've inducted paper airplanes. They've inducted bubbles. Sidewalk chalk.
Oh.
You know who got in the Toy Hall of Fame last year? American Girl dolls,
Okay.
Risk, and sand.
Oh, yeah. I think we talked about
We
that.
did.
Yeah.
Sand got into the
Finally.
Toy Hall of Fame. The world's what other toy covers the world? American Girl dolls don't cover the world.
I mean, if sand gets in, I feel like dirt and water should get
It's
in too.
so simple.
And also, let's be honest. As a kid, I wasn't playing with a lot of sand, but I was playing with a lot of fire. Put fire in.
Yes.
Is there a
Or
sand?
boogers. Why aren't boogers in the Toy Hall of Fame?
There's got to be a sand manufacturing plant where there's like they sanitize the sand, make sure it's
They
safe to play with.
sanitize it and then send it out for you?
They have to because they think about all the glass and the shards and stuff that's in there.
Is that how it works?
You don't take sand from like.
I don't-
You
every
think
sand
they're just
comes
taking it from a
like,
beach?
I'll tell you what.
all sand comes from a beach.
I don't
somewhere.
know what they do. I just know that when I have to swap out the sand in whether we have a playhouse with a slide and a thing.
You think all that sand? I mean,
When I replace the sand underneath our thing, you got to go buy a, 50-pound bag of, white smooth sand.
Mhm.
And I'm like, what a racket this is.
The stupidest thing I've ever seen was a frat party had it was a beach theme and they had sand in their house and they laid down a tarp and everything, but still it ruined everything.
That's a big commitment, boy. You're really going for detail if you put sand in your house.
I won a
thought it was-
comedy contest at a bar that did that, and so it was like a beach themed bar, and they filled the whole place with sand.
Oh,
And I was like, "Whoo!"
I never bartended because I wasn't really drinking in college, but I bar backed at a friend's boyfriend's bar that he owned. He had come into a lot of money, wanted to buy a bar. The bar's long gone. This was near DePaul University in Chicago. And it was an Australian-themed bar called the Outback. And he put sand on the floor, like a thin layer of sand. It wasn't like piles
It's
of it.
not enough.
Every night we had to sweep it. No, but it would be like, I don't know why that played into whatever his idea of an Australian theme was, but it was like there was just stuff on the floor all the time.
Yeah, no.
There was like peanuts and
Yeah.
barrels and sand on the floor.
Just
And every
gross.
night we had to sweep it up and we had to put new sand down. I was like, oh my God, this is so labor intensive. There can't be a huge return on investment for this
Stupid.
dumb sand. But it's in the Toy Hall of Fame. I don't know where you vote for this after going through all this nonsense here. I don't know where you vote, but I trust you'll find it if you really want to make sure Masters of the Universe gets in there.
Also, yourself should probably be in there.
We played with ourselves for so long that we
it's
really...
the only toy I've consistently played with my entire life.
That's right. Fun for a girl and a boy. I got a break. If you want to send a text, 35192, AlanCoxShow.com to watch. And wherever you are throughout North America, you can listen on the iHeartRadio app.
The Alan Cox Show.
On